you're in turbulence, and you better attach your seatbelts, right? And you better grab something that's solid, because everything that's not solid, the value of it will go to zero pretty faster than you can think, right? Inflation, as Sin says, it's a mathematical certainty. What does that mean? That means we have to be in Bitcoin. I just don't see any alternative right now other than to be close to fully invested, whatever that means for you in Bitcoin. I just think people are ignoring the magnitude of what the tsunami that is about to hit in the next 5 to 10 years.
Fred Krueger, a renowned entrepreneur and mathematician, has recently presented eye-opening perspectives on the harsh realities of our current financial systems. He examined the charts and predicted the inevitable decline of fiat currency, alongside the continuous growth of Bitcoin in the years to come. According to Krueger, the economy will be doomed unless we transition to harder assets, with which he believes Bitcoin shines the most. He views Bitcoin as a decentralized alternative to traditional currencies, immune to the whims of central banks and government policies, as fiat continues to devalue over time. In other words, Krueger is more bullish than ever as he acknowledges Bitcoin's finite supply and increasing adoption, which he believes will drive its value to parabolic levels. We will now bring you clips of Fred Krueger as he explains the exact reasons for his outlook. Don't forget to like the video to show your support and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with crypto news. Thanks and enjoy.
I think that this better form of money that was invented by Satoshi, do we think that that's going to dominate? In my opinion, it's very simple. It's like this inflation stuff is going to it might get better. It might get better over the next year, maybe 2 years, but it's ultimately going to get much worse. And, Bitcoin is not pricing today's inflation or tomorrow's inflation. It's pricing long-term inflation. The problem is, even if inflation is good for the next 2 years, it's very unlikely that it's going to be good for the next decade. And the reality is your money doesn't buy you. Your money buys you somewhere between 25% and let's call it 40% of its value as it used to before the pandemic. That's just a fact. And if we start pushing money printing to the next level, your money's going to be worth half as much as it is in 5 years. It will be worth in 2 decades. It'll be worth 10%. The problem is, you're in turbulence, and you better attach your seatbelts, right? And you better grab something that's solid, because everything that's not solid, the value of it will go to zero pretty faster than you can think, right? And if you're dealing with government paper that's paying you 5%, 6% interest, it just doesn't matter to me what these people say about liquidity, about, these contraptions like BTFD and stuff. They just don't matter, because ultimately the government is absolutely going to debase your currency, and you can hold anything you want, but you cannot hold government currency. It just will not work right now. It's not a valid way to hold your money. Now you could debate whether stocks is an okay way. I actually don't think it's going to. I think it's a very substandard way of holding your money right now. I don't see anything that has the long-term, anywhere near the long-term track record of Bitcoin right now. I just think people are ignoring the magnitude of what the tsunami that is about to hit in the next 5 to 10 years. And I don't want to sound like Peter Schiff or an alarmist, but I actually think I think this is going to get far worse than anybody thinks. We're screwed. Inflation, as Sin says, it's a mathematical certainty. So I think we got to look at, what does that mean? That means we have to be in Bitcoin, right? We have to be in Bitcoin. If you want to be in gold, fine, be in gold. Probably not as a good place to be as Bitcoin. We know that the power law that we all track and love for Bitcoin, it also applies for Bitcoin versus gold, right? So Bitcoin's eating gold's lunch, And so, if you want to have some in gold, that's okay. You probably are going to do okay relative to purchasing power of everything else. So it's not the worst, but probably going to underperform Bitcoin. Will we have pullbacks? Yeah, we're going to have some pretty nasty pullbacks. We're definitely not seeing the end of kind of these pullbacks. I personally think we're going to go higher before we pull back the next. I think we're kind of at the level for now of this particular pullback, but do I know for sure? No, I don't know. Do I care? Not really, because I just don't see any alternative right now other than to be close to fully invested, whatever that means for you in Bitcoin. I think you got to be pretty close to fully invested here.
In a recent discussion led by Roundtable anchor Rob Nelson, a debate has arisen regarding the apparent lack of surge in Bitcoin's price, despite potential shifts in Federal Reserve interest rate policies. John Devine, head of OTC trading at Blockfills, suggests that Bitcoin's growth is intricately tied to the strength of fiat currencies, particularly the US dollar. He explains that when the denominator, in this case fiat currency, is appreciating, Bitcoin faces a more challenging path upwards. Devine forecasts that if the Fed were to signal interest rate cuts, Bitcoin could skyrocket to newer all-time highs. In addition, Devine notes the delicate balancing act that the Federal Reserve must do in the currently complex economy and policy situation. According to Devine, the Fed's decisions are influenced by two key factors: the pressing need for inflation control and the upcoming election. What are your thoughts on this development? Share your opinions in the comments section below. Now, let's return to Fred Krueger as he provides further insights into Bitcoin and its broader impact on the macroeconomy.
Do I think that we could be down 20% in a month? Very easily. It's very possible, right? But you can't optimize for that, and you can't try to trade around that. You can't be too cute. None of that stuff's going to work. The only thing you can do is hodl. And so, that's not kind of what these crypto people want to hear, because they kind of all want to hear how they're going to revolutionize this or that, or, how to tie into banking or something. But it's really not. It's not about tying into banking or, or tokenization of real world assets. It really isn't about that. It's really about finding a real alternative to this fiat mess that we're in, which is going to be really scary. It's just, you can't underestimate how serious and scary this stuff is. And, I think if you were scared out of your mind with COVID, be prepared to be even more scared out of your mind in the next couple of years, because I just feel like the wheels have come off this engine. The wheels are coming off. Hold on to Bitcoin for dear life, because that might be all you have. You might lose everything else. You might lose your house. You might lose your job. You might, you might have nothing else other than your Bitcoin, right? That's kind of where I think you have to kind of have that mindset. As much as people think we're back to business as normal, we're not business as normal. Bidenomics has not worked. We're definitely in a sort of a false economy, false narrative of everything's great, right? I know you're going to hear a lot of that on TV. The economy's great, everything's great, but it's only great because we're pushing the gas pedal at full speed, and we're pushing the gas pedal right in the middle of a major recovery. And so, we're we're headed for the wall. I don't know whether the wall is going to be a crash, or is it just going to be things go up. I think things go up in terms of prices. That's kind of my expectation. I think they're gonna talk about this stuff. They're going to explain it away. They're going to come up with some other stats saying that it's not a problem. But I think it's at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, really, who do you believe? Do you believe in the code that tells you 21 million? Or do you believe what this nonsense that these politicians are telling you?
What's your take on Fred Krueger's predictions regarding the decline of fiat currency and the continual rise of Bitcoin? Do you agree that Bitcoin offers the ultimate solution to the current economic challenges we face? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found today's video valuable, please show your support by liking and subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated on all our future releases. Your support motivates us to keep creating content on the latest happenings in the world of crypto. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.